Tired of looking for a company to ship your barrels to the Caribbean and all over the world? How about dealing with one company, one bill, a company that can assist you in moving and packing services? Well, look no further. People in the tri-state area are headed to King Solomon Logistics. King Solomon Logistics, located at 135-40 Liberty Avenue, Queens, New York, zip 11419. We ship worldwide and state-to-state via air, land, and sea, specializing in door-to-door in Trinidad and Guyana. We offer a free pickup service in the tri-state area. Other services are money transfer, mailbox, barrel sale. Sea cargo takes under 4 weeks to the Caribbean and under 2 weeks for Europe. Air cargo takes 2 to 3 business days. We do moving and packing services, 24 hours answering service. When you take shipping, moving and packing services, think King Solomon Logistics. Visit us today at 135-14 Liberty Avenue, Queens, New York, 11419. Or call 718-658-1187. That's 718-658-1187. King Solomon Logistics.
Looking for a cleaning service that's reliable, dependable, and trustworthy? Let me introduce you to O&G's Cleaning Service, where we provide cleaning services for homes, office, and commercial space. O&G's is specialized in transport clean, deep cleaning, and much, much more. Our staff is equipped, respectable, and responsible. Call O&G's Cleaning Service today to see what we can clean for you. Telephone number 908-605-6469. Or visit our website for more information, www.letscleanforyou.com. Don't stress. Leave the mess to the professional. O&G's Cleaning Service. Talk Time with Sharmin will air each and every Monday from 6 to 9 p.m. EST, right here on www.vibesupradio.hd.com. Sharmin is a passionate and dedicated motivational speaker and coach who travels across the United States motivating, empowering, and coaching individuals to reach their potentials. Sharmin brings life experience and education to her craft. She is currently working on her dissertation to complete her PhD in general psychology. So, do you need help getting to the next level, fulfilling your dreams, or achieving your goals? Tune in and meet Sharmin as she infuses the airwaves with knowledge and encouragement. Sharmin will discuss topics that are taboo and help us remove the masks that we wear to hide our experiences and truth. You can share your views and suggest topics of interest for Talk Time with Sharmin every Monday on www.vibesupradio.hd.com. Don't forget to download our free app on all your devices. Also, feel free to join in on the conversation by calling us up at 718-342-0510. Log on to www.vibesupradio.hd.com and listen live and share your thoughts on the discussion weekly. You are encouraged to use the chat box to add your input to the conversation. Welcome, Sharmin.
Live from New York City, it's Vibes Up Radio HD. Happy Sunday. Vibes Up Radio HD welcomes you all to our Soul to Soul and Classic Only Sunday. Please don't forget about our Sunday cook-up pot, where you can call us up and let us know what you're cooking. We start our day off with Sunday morning gospel.
There is power in the name of Jesus. Break every chain, break every chain.
Can our live DJs take over at 9 a.m.? Best and always. Soul to Soul. Classic reggae.
Like I said, never look at somebody else on the phone. They never know what they might become.
Grab a glass of wine and listen to some great music from our live DJs. Our phone lines are always open, so you can call us up and spread some love or requests. Our telephone number is 718-342-0510. Oh, by the way, don't forget about our Hot Topics, which starts at 6 p.m. with our live DJs. It's real hot and spicy. Please don't forget to download our free app for Android and iPhones, or you Queens of Queens Beauty Salon, 339 Rockaway Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Mr. Coffee King Incorporated, 341 Rockaway Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. From our family to yours. Happy Sunday.
It doesn't.
The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. The Sunday Night
2 more minutes.
Show. With the divas of the Sunday Night Mix-Up Show.
Yeah, it cracked a little bit. It's hot, right? And it drank a lot of heat.
Purposeful to our current society.
Nigga, one that told me
Conscientious and inspiring individuals.
she could dim it, but I don't know if you could see it. She could dim it from outside.
So join us on the discussion every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 718-342-0510. Don't forget to download the Vibes Up Radio HD free app and listen in or log on to www.vibesupradiohd.com.
It's dark. It's dark.
Find us on Twitter.
I feel more like
The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show on IG at The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show on Twitter at The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show.
Then I might come with it too.
You are now logged on to New York City High Energy Station. Vibes Up Radio HD. That's the vibes on the streets. Now, back to the music on the #1 station that's rocking the streets. VibesUpRadioHD.com.
Talk Time with Sharmin will air each and every Monday from 6 to 9 p.m. EST right here on www.vibesupradiohd.com. Sharmin is a passionate and dedicated motivational speaker and coach who travels across the United States motivating, empowering, and coaching individuals to reach their potentials. Sharmin brings life experience and education to her craft. She is currently working on her dissertation to complete her PhD in general psychology. So, do you need help getting to the next level? Fulfilling your dreams or achieving your goals? Tune in and meet Sharmin as she infuses the airwaves with knowledge and encouragement. Sharmin will discuss topics that are taboo and help us remove the masks that we wear to hide our experiences and truth. You can share your views and suggest topics of interest for a Talk Time with Sharmin every Monday on www.vibesupradiohd.com.
So, you want to introduce the topic and you're going to be
on all your devices.
covering music?
Also, feel free to join
so-
in on the conversation.
I don't remember what the topic was about. Can't remember what the topic was about.
I can do it.
Okay, perfect. I'm not the mic person, you know that.
And listen live and share your thoughts on the discussion weekly. You are encouraged to use the chat box to add your input to the conversation. Welcome, Sharmin. Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good evening, and welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. This evening, we'll be discussing the immigration. We'll have attorney Vivian Williams with us. He's not here yet, but I just wanted to prepare you. Please invite a friend, invite a relative. We all know someone who is out of status or undocumented. And the memo that the Department of Homeland Security actually put out last week is going to impact us in some way or the other, especially those of us who might have relatives that are green card holders but have felonies. Like I heard a story of a Jamaican national who has been in the U.S. for 33 years. After he served his time in prison, he came out and there was a deportation case against him. I guess he never followed up. And after the Muslim ban, he actually went into the embassy, applied for his citizenship, went in for the interview and never returned home. When his relatives actually checked, he was already slated for deportation. Wow. And he is a green card holder and he was deported. So there's a lot that we need to know about. And so I just want to encourage you that by the time Attorney Williams is here, we make good use of his time. Because he opted to come into the studio. He could have done like anyone else and just call in. So guys, just let's utilize his time and ask him the questions. And there's no silly question here. So DJ, and once again, good night. Thank you for tuning in. And I know that we'll have a wonderful night tonight. DJ Andrew, entertain us for a minute.
Good night, Miss Sharmin. Good night, good night, good night. Welcome. You know, we always start off with the gospel, so we got to bless the show.
Talk Time with Sharmin.
There's a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we can see it afar. For the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet
Time with Sharmin.
Hey, my name is Mr. Davis. And I just want to take time out to tell you how great God has been to me. If God has been great to you, I want you all to enjoy this song. Down to the highest mountain, looked all around, couldn't find nobody. Went down into the deepest valley, looked all around and never find nobody. I went across the deep blue sea, couldn't find one to compare to your grace and love, your mercy. Nobody greater than you. I searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater, no, nobody greater than you. I searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater, no, nobody greater than you. Nobody can heal like you can. Almost only one, you are the great I am. Awesome in all your ways, and mighty in your hands. You are he who carried out redemption plan. I searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater,
Yes, yes, yes.
nobody greater, no, nobody greater than you.
Share the link, share the link, share the link.
Nobody greater, nobody greater, no, nobody greater than you. Nobody greater, nobody greater, no, nobody greater than you. I searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater, no, nobody greater than you.
Somebody want me to turn it. Turn it like this. No, we'll have to finish. You know, it's twisted. It's gotta change the settings to put it back in.
Holy Father.
mama said, people are better than you, George. Don't you let them down. I remember mama, you went to school with your clothes without shoes. You didn't have much, but the Lord saw us through.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
I remember mama, she packed her lunch in the old Sunday. Mama seems empty, and it was full from the hotel. Brothers and sisters, they're living for the poor. Although mama's gone, she's got everything in her heart. Oh, but the poor together is making a holy place. I remember mama. I remember mama. Grandma, I miss you. Dad, I miss you too. For those of us who like to rock lunch, you know what I'm talking about, right? Love that fighting. I'm gonna fight with all my I'm gonna fight with all my might. And even though the fight the
Welcome.
Is Maria there?
Hello?
Is Maria there?
You have the wrong number.
I'm sorry, we weren't aware of that. I'll update our records. Have a nice day. Bye.
I'll say good night, good night, good night. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. My apologies. Song say never give up. No matter what, never give up. I wanna fight with all my might. The road to life is so dark, but my road is the race to the end. Feels more than I can bear. The darkest part of night is just before the morning, so I will give in to the breath of life. I will never give up the fight. I'm gonna fight it on the way. And even though the fight the way, this is the time. I will never give up the fight. I'm gonna fight it on the way. And even though the fight the way.
with Sharmin. I know a lot of you are waiting for, are excited to have attorney Vivian Williams. He's not here yet. I think he's actually making his way from Midtown Manhattan. So, but as we wait for him, our discussion tonight is on the 2 new immigration memo that the Department of Homeland Security actually, I think they put it out like 5 or 6 days ago, sometime during last week. And you know, the more I read, I didn't read the memo, but I read different articles about the memo. And I know most of you followed the president on the campaign trail. And he said it during the campaign that they will be deporting illegal immigrants and criminals. And this memo actually expand the idea of mass deportation. And so despite the judge put a halt on the Muslim ban of the 7 different countries, this memo actually, okay, you only seen half of me. Yeah, good. That's good. Sorry guys. Yeah, this memo actually give them the right. So despite the halt on the Muslim ban, you now have the spotlight off of Muslims, and it's on immigrants in general, especially those that had convictions. And convictions, when I say convictions, I mean felonies. I think earlier when we started the show and I introduced the topic, I actually give an example of someone who spent 33 years in the U.S. as a green card holder, got himself into some trouble, served his time. When he came out, there was a deportation. I don't know the details about that, but he was not deported. He applied for his citizenship, went in, they called him in, they took his money, and they called him in for the interview, and he never returned home after the interview. His kids got worried, contacted a few people. That's how I learned about the story. And by the time they got to wherever they sent him, because usually they don't keep you with where they pick you up. Right? They will take you, ICE will take you to one of their holding cells, and it's always out of the city. And so by the time they got to wherever, he was already deported. Wow. After 33 years. Wow. So you can imagine that he left his hometown 33 years. Let's say he didn't have any relatives there. He was deported back to Jamaica after 33 years. I mean, that's a concrete case that I know of. I heard other stories, but I don't want to repeat it because I don't know if there is any validity to it. So, but that case I know of, and you know the kids. I mean, some of them are still green card holders, and they're worried. I attended the very first forum that they had with the immigration last Wednesday, I think, or last Tuesday evening at Mount Zion Church, and there was someone from the mayor's office, the Commission of Immigration, and she said that the mayor is working hard. New York City is a sanctuary city for the undocumented. And some churches have opened their doors as a sanctuary also, and they actually shared knowing your rights, that if I pick you up, you have the right to remain silent and request an attorney. And that came from the commissioner and the two attorneys that were actually there. So, but
Ms. Sharmin,
Yeah.
I read a question about a statement. I read a popular journalist post something that a man was deported like 3 times, right? And this final time that he got deported, he committed suicide. Is there a rate of that going to be happening because of that?
you know, I think there would be an increase in social problems. And when I say social problems, I mean domestic violence. We could see an increase in domestic violence because if you're afraid to go to work and you can't go, who knows? You become frustrated, right? So here we are, unknown. We have no idea what could happen, you know. So we actually, Attorney Williams is here. You can come in. Yes, guys. So I hope you have your questions. Those of you that were asking me, what time is he coming? He's here. And I hope you let's utilize his time, right? Let's just ask him questions, all your concerns, you raise them, and so that he can, because we might never get him back in the studio. If we excite him, you know, we may have some more visits from him. So, guys, thank you. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
I am great, and you?
I have to be careful I don't fall.
That's the last thing we would want here.
I'm in New York, so I should sound cold.
Closer to you.
Alright.
Well, welcome. I'm seeing half of you and half of me. We really need to turn that.
So that means that we're one if...
There you go, half of it.
Well, y'all are full now.
That means we're one.
You're cold fruit. Indeed, you're cold.
That's when there is a complete unity.
Yes.
Oneness of spirit and oneness in body.
Woo!
So here I am and here you are.
Yes, and thank you for coming. And in such short notice, guys, I must tell you that I think I asked Attorney Williams to be here on Saturday, and he was like, okay. So here he is. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. Attorney Williams, welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. Thank you for being here with us. And introduce yourself to our listeners. We have listeners. We have viewers on Facebook. And we have some people tune into the app. I think we are live in Linda's restaurant. So we have a lot of people listening. Some people think that you're going to decrease their anxiety and their fears and help them to erase some of their fears. So there's a lot on you tonight.
Well, you know, the mere thought that they think I would reduce their anxiety means that I would have already reduced their anxiety. But as a starter, I grew up being called Vivian, so I'm known as Vivian. I'm accustomed to being called Vivian. So Vivian is good enough. You don't need to.
I don't need to say Mr. Williams.
You don't need to say Attorney Williams.
Okay.
And as a starter, let me just simply diffuse this, because I know that you've said that people get their questions and there might be an expectation that there would be specific questions being asked. This is not going to be a consultation. This is not going to be a situation where I would address legal issues on air, live on Facebook, or anything of the sort.
Right.
It would not be ethically proper, and it would not be in the best interest of those who seek legal counsel.
Beautiful.
I would address more broadly in the issue of immigration as it may affect people today. It is also, I should also give the first advice that general advice I would give, and that is there are lots of programs that people may have where people might be tempted to call in and ask questions and seek counsel on immigration matters. Apart from the ethical issue that I highlighted earlier, it is not a proper practice because you might be outing yourself. And you might be revealing, even if you don't specifically identify yourself, the nature of your immigration circumstances. You may not necessarily out yourself to people, the authorities, but sometimes you may give yourself up to people who know you and who might be close to you and who might identify you. Some of those very people may turn around and out you to the authorities. So it is not an advisable thing for people to seek to ask specific questions and to seek consultation or counsel on their specific circumstances on here. It is a moment of anxiety, but immigration issues have been around forever, and this is not the first administration that has caused anxiety among immigrants. It is one that might have heightened that anxiety. Action taken in desperation very often leads to...
You know what? Can you take my mic?
You can't,
Because they're not hearing you clearly.
That's right. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And you can go as close as possible so they can hear you.
That one is actually good.
Avoid the feedback.
Okay. So, is my sound, am I better now? Clearer? Louder? Greater clarity?
So, it's just me and my big mouth.
No, he's not close enough to the mic.
You just have to
Far
be
away.
closer,
Yeah,
closer to the mic.
Anything closer might be swallowing the mic. Okay. So,
Better.
So what I was saying is that when people act in desperation, the desperation itself sometimes tend to contribute
we have a caller.
to the demise of people, and there's a desperate situation, but still there needs to be some level of normalcy and some level of calm.
Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. Calling you live. Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, man?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, it seems to me like I'm losing you. You're dropping in and out.
Okay. How are you listening to us?
Well, you know, I was just going through my phone and you guys, I saw the Vibe Radio Monday Night Talk.
Okay.
And what a gentleman is saying there, you know, there is a lot of truth to it, and there's a lot of negative to it, because you have a coin have two sides. Problem have two sides. If you come to this country has been made up of immigrants, not one culture. It has been made up of immigrants, and I'm going to say that again. It has been made up. This country has been made up of immigrants. If you get a 10-year visa, you come to this country and you work in, and you spend 6 months, or let's say a year, I don't know how long they give you, and you go back, you spend a little time, you can come back, no matter where you come from. But when you see you don't want to go back now, and you want to stay, remember you have a 10-year visa. you have a 10-year, it's not a 10-month. Even now, if it's a 10-month visa, you can go and come. And you are making progress so they're going to trust you more. But when you are not doing that and you're staying here, right, and then your time has run out, well, what do you expect immigration to do?
Well, if I could, because I'm sure that
You know, like I said, every.
Do you have a question for, sir? Do you have a question for the attorney?
Well, you know, it's the comment.
Yeah,
the comment
I want to know why. You know, they have to let these people know. If you come in the country, you have to keep that right. Asking if isn't that legal.
Well,
only when you overstay, and then you're gonna go back, then it's gonna cause a problem.
okay, so if I could step in.
Don't get me wrong. I feel for all these people, and my heart cries for them, and you know, so many people meet me and talk to me every day, and it hurts to know, even to family member is in the same situation.
All right, so.
And I want to say, I'm not writing nobody here. I'm not writing nobody back, but it is a very good thing you guys are doing, and I hope every culture from all walks of life is listening to what this attorney is saying, and how you guys are broadcasting this. I guess the whole world is hearing this.
Well, thank you very much for your comment, and from my perspective,
I'm not hearing you at all, like you going and coming at me. Angry.
Well,
Yes, because of that.
Hello?
Wow.
Oh, man.
Are you hearing me?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Wow.
I am hearing you quite.
If you guys are hearing me, a great job you guys are doing. The attorney, whatever, I listened to him a little bit online. Whatever decision he is saying, he's an attorney. I am not an attorney. And what he's saying is very clear. And you guys keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Just do what you gotta do. And have a blessed evening. Sarah.
You too. Thank you.
All right. So, from my perspective, I don't have a problem with comments. Even a person who makes a contribution without comments, but it's not my show. But from my perspective, I would welcome comments because lots of times people add to the discourse. Now, there is nothing that I'm saying that is distinctly different from what the caller actually pointed out. Our attitudes and our sentiments might be slightly different. As an immigration attorney, you counsel people in terms of how to stay within the confines of the law. You also counsel people on how to avail themselves of the opportunities that the law presents. And the caller seems to suggest that a discourse on immigration is one that counsels violation of the law, which it is not. And the current immigration situation in the country is one that affects not only people who are here overstaying their time. That is one category of people affected. There are instances where people who are lawful permanent residents who could have their residency terminated, and in fact the case at JFK and other airports involve people who were here as permanent residents and not merely overstaying or overstepping their welcome in the country. And that's the first thing that we need to have people understand. Lots of people, when they engage in the discourse on immigration, they seem to suggest or take the attitude that you're really talking about lawbreakers. And sometimes people find themselves in situations whereby attorneys step in and say, while the government say or says that you might be breaking the law and therefore should be removed, placed in removal proceedings and returned, that in fact the government is misapplying or misinterpreting the law. And when the federal court, the federal district court, and then the federal appeals court put the brakes on President Trump, what the court actually said is that the president himself and the White House was in fact not properly applying the law. So we shouldn't come to the table to have this discussion believing that when we are talking about immigration rights and immigration issues, that we are talking to a broad category of violators and lawbreakers. And that's the first thing that we should understand. So I don't think that necessarily when the caller says that one should respect the laws of the country, that is something that I am opposed to, or it is something that I'm saying, all those who wish to break the law, come forth and break the law. That is not what the discussion is about. It is about how people could take advantage of the opportunities presented by the immigration laws of the United States, how they could stay within the confines of the law, and how they could effectively protect their rights and interests as written in the law. If there isn't another caller, I could progress to another issue. And one of the, and this is more or less from experience. An immigrant population, and lots of times you hear an aggressive stance towards President Trump. But as an immigration attorney, and my number pops up on immigration searches, I must tell you that I receive an overwhelming number of calls from individuals seeking and believing and mixing my number up for immigration authorities, seeking to report friends, relatives,
Wow.
and persons close to them. It's the reason why I started off with the advice that people should be very careful how they discuss their immigration circumstances and even seek counsel on immigration matters. Wow. My phone rings frequently during the day, and very often it's someone who seeking to report. And so when we discuss the immigration problem as if it were only ICE that is knocking on doors and ICE that is combing records looking for people to deport, there are lots of enemies within. And so that is one thing that people who are addressing the immigration issue, counseling, advising, and also seeking counsel and advice, should understand when they deal with this problem. And so how would I actually recommend that people view their circumstances, taking that into consideration? I have one way of putting it, and I say, and that is, in the time of Trump, people should remain normal and calm. Anxiety tends to give rise to actions that appear to be suspicious, and mere anxiety and suspicious behavior could result in a person who is going about normal daily business being identified as being suspicious and being singled out for greater attention. So persons who are here should be normal and try to be as normal as you could be, as calm as you could be. Anxiety could also lead to people actually beginning to talk too much and to tell too many people what their circumstances are and begin to tell the wrong people. And that in itself could contribute to further problems.
Wow.
it is important that the institutions of society step forward at this point in time and provide critical support for people who need critical support. And when I talk about institutions, we're talking about various institutions such as churches, social groups, and they must understand and approach the issue with the understanding of utmost confidentiality. People anxious to the point of nervous breakdown should be able to speak, and they should be able to identify groups or individuals that they could speak to with utmost confidentiality. Not at the moment they begin to simply disclose their anxious and nervous and desperate situation, that they find that begins to spread like wildfire. And so institutions and individuals must review their moral code of operating and should begin to revise that. Churches must begin to review, for instance, their privacy policy. How could Sister X or Brother Y come forth and have a discussion with the church to get the assistance that Sister X or Brother Y needs without fear that the privacy of that individual will be violated? And that kind of moral standing from institutions, and the same thing for social groups. And they must be able to guarantee, not merely in words but in conduct, that kind of privacy. What they should then be able to do is to form to be able to build a network with professionals who could be able to give more specific assistance. For instance, there might be attorneys in the church, or the church may be able to develop a relationship with attorneys who might be able to review specific cases. And it should be able to then refer members to these attorneys or this particular attorney. Members of churches who are attorneys and who might be able to help might want to also consider whether they will form groups so that church members will know you're not even seeking consultation with the church itself or a deacon X or Y, but that there is a group of other worshippers who have the expertise in the area that you could consult, and you're consulting through the coordination of the church, but under the protection of the attorney-client confidentiality. And that is how the various institutions of society must step forward, not merely to say we will defy the law, not merely to say that we will provide sanctuary for people, but simply to say how we could strengthen the foundation upon which people stand.
Wow. That's very powerful, because I attended a forum and there were people publicly asking questions and disclosing their status. And so to hear you say this is profound, because last week I'm in a forum with a lot of attorneys, and none of them actually put out a disclaimer like that.
Well, if you look at something like that, if you are ICE and the government is very savvy, and you really want to find people, and you understand forums are advertised, you understand that there are programs like this, there's something called media monitoring. There is something called scanning the environment. Why would you think ICE would not scan the environment?
Caller, you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good evening, Miss Prince. Good evening to your guest.
Good evening, Captain.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. You kind of low. I can't hardly hear you.
Okay. Are you enjoying the show?
I'm enjoying the show.
Oh, okay. So you're hearing me clearly?
I can hear you. I got a question for the lawyer.
Okay.
My question is, if you don't have your documentation and you are placed in deportation, and for some reason that you get deported. But if you have children, what happens to the kids? Does they get deported too, or does the government takes over the responsibility when they deport their parents? What happened to the kids?
Well, first thing, your question seeks legal advice, which I wouldn't give, but I will try to talk around the issue that you put. Every case in law is like a patient in medicine. It has to be examined on a case-by-case basis, and lawyers who are serious about what they do will tell you that. It has to be scrutinized upon the basis of lots of facts that even the clients that consult you might be unaware of or is not presenting to you, and therefore you would have to probe and ask lots of questions and sometimes do some research. Now, there's a fundamental principle in immigration law that looks at the hardship impact of deportation or removal on family members who are permanent residents or citizens of the United States. It seems as if the caller is raising an issue of hardship, and the law provides for a person placed in removal proceedings to raise that as one of the, to be more simplistic, you could say one of the defenses, or one of the means to which, one of the means to resist removal from the United States. So a person placed in deportation proceedings who has hardship issues would be a person, that person's attorney should be seeking to make that case, right? But I can't, and I wouldn't give a specific guidance as to what is the answer to that question.
Well.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. The number here is 718-342-0510. Again, 718-342-0510. Attorney Vivian Williams is in the studio with us. You can call and ask general questions, anything specific. He may not be able to answer that directly, but you can call in and ask your questions. You know, share your concerns, share your thoughts. 718-342-0510. I have 2 questions or 3 questions that was sent to me. One of them is really long. I'll try to see if I can summarize it. Okay. My husband came to the U.S. 44 years ago as a permanent resident. He has or had, problems with the law, and so he has a criminal record and has to report to Federal Plaza annually for the past 15 years. It's almost 20 years since he has not had any problems with the law. He had an order of deportation which was lifted but not removed under the Convention of Torture Law. They took away his green card. He has a work permit which has to be renewed annually. He has been a law-abiding citizen, married, working with a reputable company, and paying his bills. Should he be worried?
Well, all immigrants who are not citizens of the United States, there would be an uneasiness. my whole position is that you should temper the anxiety. You shouldn't let it fly through the roof. Now, what you have is someone who is in the United States, it appears, from what you presented, under a discretionary remedy. And the discretionary remedy is fashioned not only out of United States law, but United States adherence to international law and convention on things like torture and human rights. Of course, there are instances, and this may not necessarily be the case of this particular person, where the circumstances that exist in a particular jurisdiction, a country, that results in a shield of a person from being returned to that situation may change. And sometimes people who have the discretionary human rights protection under the immigration law may find that their circumstances could be reviewed at a later date when the circumstances that in essence created the human rights issue no longer exist. Societies are not static. And so I think the United States reviewed its policy with respect to Cuba recently. After the earthquake in Haiti, the United States had taken up certain policy attitude towards persons from Haiti and removal back to Haiti. That was subsequently relaxed. So you're not living in a static environment. The appropriate thing for persons who are within that kind of volatile situation is to be able to develop a relationship with an attorney, and I would think that the fact that the person has been able to avail himself or herself of immigration benefit would mean that the person might have been represented by counsel. But lots of times, as soon as things sort themselves out sufficient for people to not be too anxious, they don't talk with their attorney, they don't give a call, they don't try to find out, has there been changes in the law that I may benefit from? Because the immigration law itself is not static. And so a person who might be in a particular situation 40 years ago, 20 years ago, may find changes and adjustments in the law over a course of time that person could benefit from. What happens today, what is happening today, is lots of people who have ignored what was happening around them in terms of their immigrant standing in the United States are now waking up and say, hey, what's my position? Well, that should have been monitored all the time. And also, one of the things that you're hearing is a flood of recommendation. Go file this and go file that and go do everything. So I'll come back to that later if you're going to take this call.
Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin, calling you live.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, where's this place I'm calling?
You're calling the studio.
Well, what are you talking about? I saw this on some Facebook social media, the number.
Okay, we're actually talking about immigration.
Okay. Immigration?
Yes, sir.
Everybody in America should have their citizenship and their green card.
Okay, that's true. That's
a
true.
lot better free and freedom.
Yeah.
That's what the Constitution says. And that's what the forefathers talk about. And all the white churches and the black churches are disappointed the people under this administration. It's the foolish stuff going on now. So, you know, churches are disappointed the people regarding the people that are here. Some of these people that are here go to some of these churches and with their situation and the churches of, they should have put Hillary Clinton in there when I was dealing with this problem now.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, caller. That's your
Yeah,
contribution. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right.
Have a good night.
Yes.
Well, let's address one fundamental flaw in what the caller presents: that everybody in the United States should have citizenship or a green card. The Constitution or the immigration laws are not so narrowly tailored. The immigration law provides for refugees and for persons to be in the category of visitors, and it also provides for people to be in the United States as workers who are here to work, but they are not permanent residents of the United States. And we should stop dumbing down the discourse on immigration as if it is merely about people being citizens of the United States and people being lawful residents of the United States. We must also not diminish the intent and the desire of people who dwell within the borders of the United States as all seeking citizenship or residence. There are some people who, by virtue of their work and their contribution to the advancement of technology, services, and commerce in the United States, are required to leave where they would rather be, to work and be present in the United States. Just like a person who would rather live in New York being posted to Florida by his or her company. And those are also people who are within the immigrant population that are within the midst of what we're talking about. There might be a more dominant category of people that are citizens or residents, those people on the pathway to citizenship. And so it is important that we not narrow our minds only to those categories.
I have a couple of questions here. This is from the Facebook Live. One of them asks, is it, and I just find it funny, is it true that ICE is using Facebook to track persons for deportation?
Well, that's a very good question, and it is not a funny question. And it is good that someone would be perceptive enough to present that question. It is true that President Trump and his advisors or his team have, both during the campaign and after taking office, have indicated the intent to use technology to monitor and to track persons present in the United States and the conduct of persons in the United States. In fact, a few weeks ago, there was some discussion that persons who are visiting the United States should surrender or should have to present at the port of entry the login information for their social media, which would simply mean people who are engaging in all kinds of conversation, saying all kinds of things, jokingly or not, on social media, could find themselves touching down at the port of entry, having to provide to the authorities that social media information, and could find their being categorized in a particular way by virtue of their conduct there. And that is an important question. One would expect that as technology advances, and there has long been discussion even for changes in the law to facilitate more aggressive utilization of technology in tracking down and monitoring people present in the country. And President Trump has in fact said and argued that the government should be able to track, in as much as even to the point of creating a registry of people present in the country who've come into the country, their activities and what they're doing. And so that is a question with tremendous foresight that people should expect that kind of monitoring.
I actually giggled because we were having that argument last night, and I was saying it's possible, and someone told me no, and they had all these theories behind no. So I hope that person is listening that we were having that discussion with last night, because they were saying that it's impossible.
It's possible.
And so I am happy that you asked that question. So that was the reason for me laughing. The other question, my friend came to the U.S. 29 years ago, was working, put her kids through school. Is there any way she could get some help? That's the question, I guess.
Well, there are always ways people could get some help. The point is what help the person needs and what help the person might be entitled to. A question like that lacks sufficient facts.
Mm-hmm.
A person in a situation like that would want to probably even initially do some of their own research, and there might be instances where there might be groups who might be able to provide some kind of consultation in terms of if there's any pathway to regularization for that kind of person and should seek it. Some people may have some funding and may want to at least have a consultation with an attorney. There are attorneys, and I suspect that there might be more now, who might do some free consultation, and there are law schools who are also developing clinics to help. So people have got to be able to look at these opportunities and see how they can take advantage of them. But at the same time, when it comes to something that is important to you, you can't be too mean in the pocket.
We have a caller. Caller, you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
I would like to ask a question.
Sure.
Can I speak now?
Yeah, go ahead.
On WhatsApp, people are sending you a lot of things on WhatsApp. One thing, I just got a WhatsApp from somebody, and they're saying that you must not pay your WhatsApp because your WhatsApp the ISIS is tracking you down from your WhatsApp and they're finding you. I just want to know these things that people are putting out, if it's true or if it's lying.
Well, let me...
Before you respond, ma'am, can you turn off the device that you're listening to?
Okay.
And just listen to your phone?
Okay. Okay, so what do I see? You don't know what I see.
Okay, so the attorney is going to respond to you.
Yeah.
Now, people always tend to take advantage of situations and try to heighten anxiety. You will have instances where people will create all kinds of rumor intended to heighten anxiety. Nevertheless, people have...
I'm not hearing.
So what I'm saying is that maybe one of the things that the callers may want to also recognize, and probably, Sharmin, you could tell the callers that they would have to have either a headphone that they could listen to themselves, but those persons who ask questions and then are listening to the response, they might be able to, what they could do after they ask the question. I think the program is available after the session. So persons who want to listen.
Ma'am? Hello, ma'am? Hello?
My phone like giving me problem.
Hello?
I'm not here anyway.
Hello?
I'm not here and my phone is giving me a lot of problems now.
Can that caller call back? Also, what Vivian said is that you can call, ask your question, you can hang up, and then he would listen to the whatever device, the television, the radio, your iPad, whatever device you're listening to the program on, you can listen for his response. But you can call, ask the question, hang up, and then he would respond. If you have a follow-up question, the phone line is open, just call us back.
Right, and the other thing is, I'm sure the program is available for what you call on-demand viewership after.
Yes.
So persons could on-demand, when the program is finished,
Yes.
go back and review the response.
Yes.
Because there might be, people might be calling in and they might be using their cell phones, you may have signal problems and all of that. All of these things are not necessarily, don't necessarily have anything to do with the elaborate devices that you have, and we wouldn't be able to solve all of those issues.
Calling you live, welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Hi, Sharmin.
Hello, good
night.
evening. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Williams. Sharmin, you see, I finally called to have a talk with you, right?
Yes.
Okay, I have a question. I'm a citizen, right? And I don't have any anything to walk around while I'm going to work, in case they stop and do random checks to see to find out whether or not I'm a documented alien. What do I do in that case? Do I have to make a copy of my citizenship certificate to walk around with me?
Well, you said that you don't have anything to walk around with, and I am thinking that what you're talking about...
Can you hang up so that he can respond?
Sure.
Thank you. And if you have a follow-up question, you can call back.
Okay.
All right.
Say hi.
Thanks, I'm hearing. Good. So, when the caller says that she doesn't have anything to walk around with, no one expects you to be walking around with your passport or any citizenship, certificate of citizenship. So, an identification is proper. So, if someone has a New York State or Florida, New Jersey, any form of identification, that would be sufficient to establish that you have legitimate reasons to be present in the United States. So there is no need to be walking around with an important document like your passport everywhere you go, or your certificate of citizenship. For persons who are green card holders, they are required to have your green card. Some people think it is permitted to have it locked away somewhere, but you're supposed to carry that.
I have a few questions. One person sent me a question that they're a green card holder for the last 20 years. It has expired how many years ago? More than 10 years ago. And was asking if they have to renew that green card before they can apply for citizenship.
Well, it's a complex question that has to be addressed on the specific facts. And very often, sometimes, what I discover, even when people approach me for a consultation, whatever they put forth is not necessarily what exists. So, one of the important issues raised by such a fact pattern is, what is the status of the person? If the person has a lapsed residency status, it means that the person might be in that category that is considered out of status and therefore removable.
Wow.
Now, if the person is in a lapsed status, the second issue or question for consideration, is there a fact pattern by which the lapse could be remedied? And so those are some issues that would require specific attention. But surely, if a person is out of status, you don't jump from out of status to citizenship. You would have to be able to make that incremental step towards citizenship.
Okay.
So there are several issues that require that kind of independent analysis.
Okay, let me repeat what I heard. That if I'm a green card holder and my green card expired 10 years ago, I can be deemed out of status.
Well, if your green card expires yesterday, you don't have a legal green card. The point is that green cards very often, routinely before now, lots of people fall into that lapse and it's renewable. It's good. There are some people for which you could just simply, some people are even trapped overseas and their green card expired while they're overseas, and there's a remedy that before now, no one would advise that you take that chance now, where you could go to an embassy and be able to, get things done. So that's why I said the second analysis comes in. Is there a fact pattern by which it could be remedied? Because in some instances, some people have conditional residency, right? And so you have to look at what are the facts and circumstances. Surely a person who is in such a status for 10 years would have not only a lapse status issue, but one of the issue that would, and hurdles to be overcome is why the delay?
Can I ask a question?
You're a resident or a citizen, you're a dweller within the confines of the United States, so you surely have the right to ask.
Thank you, sir. Okay, what if you marry someone that have a green card and they never look into their citizenship, but although you're married to them as a citizen and their green card expire, like what could happen to that person?
Well, I'm not sure if I understand the question clearly, but so let me see if I understand it clearly. Someone is a citizen and is in a marriage with someone who has a green card.
Right, okay. And it expires.
And the green card expires. Now, there are circumstances where that expired green card, or that green card that has expired could be renewed.
Oh, okay.
And so that's the first analysis. Now, and one would think that except there are other facts which we're not talking about here, that you could simply go through the process of renewing it. There are times when people may be in a situation whereby even the marriage or the process by which you acquire the green card is now in trouble. It's not even existing. You got a green card through a wife that you're now divorced from, and all kinds of issues. And therefore, you have to look at a whole host of things on a case-by-case basis, right? But marriage to an American citizen, a marriage that is proper, legitimate, and is in force and effect, is always a good cushion.
Thank you, sir.
The question, I have a family member who entered the U.S. And is out of status, entered the U.S. as a visitor and is out of status. They have no convictions, but there is a pending application from a brother. That was submitted since 2005. They received confirmation that the application was received. Should this person be nervous?
Well, I repeat what I said. If you're not a United States citizen, if you're not a permanent resident, and if they're not an application for residency by what is called an immediate family member, that you're in a precarious situation, and there is a need to be concerned. I am not going to elevate it to losing sleep at night concern. Now, what you have there is lots of people tend to think. So, I used the term a short while ago when I talk about an immediate family member. And here's where attorneys could help to clarify things to people. Because in the immigration process, there are certain categories of people that are considered immediate family member. A brother is not. And so the preferred category, if you're doing a family-based application, is an immediate family member. An immediate family member, even during the pendency of the application, has the protection of the law, and therefore the presence within the United States is guarded while that is being processed. A person who is not a family member does not have that protection, and the mere receipt or the mere pendency of an application in that status does not confer the protection of the law. ICE could pick you up and send you back. Okay? And so that is one thing that people need to understand. What is the category in which you're filing and all of that. So people shouldn't assume, oh, my papers are pending or my papers are being processed, and that means like I'm like the other guy whose paper is being processed. You have to do a case-by-case analysis in every instance to recognize what basics, what is the proper course of action for you, and what is the level of protection that you have. In fact, the specific fact pattern that you have, that you've outlined, has some more problems. But because of the fact that I'm dealing with general issues, and the person who tendered that question to you might be listening, I really don't want that person not to sleep tonight.
Okay.
But I would say that is a situation that requires speaking with a professional.
Okay. Calling, you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Caller, can you call us back? When you're connected, can you turn down your listening device and just listen to the phone? The number is 718-342-0510. Okay. I have another question on the live feed. Someone said their cousin is a green card holder and was acquitted of a drug charge. If he travels out of the U.S., can he be refused entry when he returns?
Wow.
Because of that encounter with the law?
Well, following the policy guideline for this program that we've set out, there isn't going to be a yes or no to that question. But here's what I will say. Every lawful permanent resident who seeks to who leaves the country and returns at the port of entry is applying for re-entry. And when that person applies for re-entry, that person, the mere fact that we use the term applying, it means that you are presenting yourself for processing, and processing never has a definite outcome. It means that there is a window that there might be a rejection or some issue that halts the process.
Wow.
So, and that's why when you go to the airport, you see citizens in one line, green card holders, right? Because the citizens are not, the green card holder are going through processing for re-entry. And so the government, yes, indeed, could deny admission and it is called a denial of admission. Lawful permanent residents who are denied re-entry or whose admission is denied are usually then detained and placed in removal proceedings. They are not just simply put on a plane and sent back, right? So the question then becomes whether the criminal charge, I think the person said acquittal. Now acquittal simply means you won the case, right? So I'm hoping that that's what it means. So a mere charge doesn't impact.
Okay.
If it were a conviction, it would be a different thing. But it doesn't necessarily mean that moral turpitude issues or any other issues may not give rise to what you could say President Trump calls it enhanced processing.
Calling you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah?
Good evening.
I'm calling from Canada.
Okay, you're calling from Canada. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. Can you turn down
me?
Can you turn down your listening device?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Turn it down.
Go ahead.
Okay, I applied for my husband, and I got a letter from immigration stating that his papers are in Canada, in Jamaica. How long would it take for it to get through?
You said you applied for just listen. You applied for residency for your husband?
Yeah.
And your question is the length of the process?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hang up and we'll answer your question?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Wow. The caller might have an attorney who is working on that application. The caller has presented a specific fact pattern that requires case-by-case analysis. And because the caller might have legal counsel working on that particular case, it would not be ethical and proper for me to seek to address that specific matter.
Okay.
Also, it would entail me doing legal consultation in the public space, which I wouldn't do.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, guys. The number here is 718-342-0510. We have Attorney Williams with us until 8 o'clock. So if you have any other questions, he will be here with us until 8 o'clock. I think I have... I think you answered this next question that I was about to ask, so...
Oh, there's one Sharmin from Tracy Carter.
Okay, what does it say?
A woman became a U.S. citizen. A woman as a child of under 18, however, never adjusted child status, and now the child is 37. Like, what can she do about it?
Well, that's an interesting question, and I get quite a few of that. The child might have acquired citizenship, what you could say by default, automatically. These matters require case-by-case analysis. This is a case where that particular person should seek consultation and have the specific facts reviewed. One of the things that you need to look at would be when did the parent become citizen of the United States. At what was the age of the child at the time? But that would be a case-by-case basis. It seems that would be a fact pattern that would require, some effort to engage an attorney.
There's a part I missed. I just click on more, and it said to the end, the child is now adult and the green card is expired, also expired.
Well, remember, the child might have been a green card holder. The child might have even migrated at the same time with the parent. Right. And the parent might have progressed to citizenship without filing a specific application for the citizenship of the child. The child might be, by default, a citizen by virtue of the parent acquiring citizenship when the child might have been a minor. So you have to look at the specific fact pattern. You have to get behind it. You have to dig a little deeper to see what really is the situation there.
Well, she said the child was 17, I guess, when the child came here. So, same thing applies, right?
Well, the fact of what is dispositive in this case is not when the child came, is when the parent became a citizen. Okay? So, but these are things that when people have these situations, they must be willing to tap the wallet.
Right.
Right? Or if there is some kind of support group, I mentioned there are some churches that do it, to go in, but you can't be in a situation for something as important as that, and you're not even willing to have a legal consultation.
Yeah. Wow. 718-342-0510. Again, 718-342-0510. I mean, before we had Attorney Williams in the studio, I said to many of you a couple of weeks ago that you should utilize the tax money and get yourself together. Here is further confirmation of that. Those 10-year expired green cards.
Taxes back.
Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin, calling you live.
Queen Sharmin, good evening. Good evening to you, DJ Andrew.
Good night, Brother Earl.
Attorney Williams, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
A quick question, please, for you to clarify something in regards to citizens walking street. I heard you said we do not need to carry a passport, nor, well, I can understand the big citizenship certificate. Is it correct that we should get what's called a citizenship card, or also walk with an American passport in the street right now until this storm is over?
Well,
Thank you very much. I'll listen for the response. Thank you much.
Okay. That's an important question, and this is an evolutionary period. And there are some things and some changes that are so dramatic and so uncertain in terms of the path they take that you cannot confront them with the old style book. And immigration attorneys would have to begin, and it's one of the reasons why I decided to avail myself for this kind of discourse, would have to commence the discourse, because there are lots of counsel and lots of advice and guidance that you give client that would not be relevant in the time of Trump. And so, as the evolution takes place, the approach or the approaches would have to be modified, and professionals should be aware of this and should be able to advise accordingly. Some things boil down to a matter of concrete law, and some things you have to trust gut instinct, because gut instinct is a valuable human compass, and we shouldn't ever leave it behind. Now, ordinarily and regularly, I would say that once you're equipped with a proper identification, it shouldn't get you into that situation of enhanced processing. But when we read about persons like Muhammad Ali's, the late Muhammad Ali's wife and son being placed in enhanced processing, you also have the question of certain basic things may not necessarily be sufficient to keep you out of enhanced processing. Now, here is the technical part. One may say, yes, but I established the first thing that I am a resident, or a lawful permanent resident, or a citizen, whatever the case may be. But enhanced processing is like an audit. And once you get placed in enhanced processing, something that might not have been the reason for which you were placed in enhanced processing may pop up. And then what you have is one thing leading to another. And so people who have that kind of complex situation may want to say, you know, my ID should be good enough for me, but I don't even want to get close to enhanced processing because a can of worm might open. You know, I did a blog the other day called Pandora's Box.
Wow.
You know, and you probably don't want to open Pandora's Box because you know that lots of nice things are not there. And so you may say, look, I may be a bit more protective, right, or a bit more defensive in my approach. And that's why I keep saying, you know, people should beware of things that just simply say, here is the laundry list.
Gotcha.
And you just simply follow 1, 2, 3. It is not that straightforward, and people ought to be aware of that.
Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. They're asking for your information so I can post it. Okay, guys, I'll post it shortly. But the number here is 718. We have, less than 5 minutes? 342-0510. I've learned so much in that hour. Amazing. And I think I sat 2 hours last week and I heard all these questions and no one cautioned you know, the presenters and the people that were asking questions. So here is a question. Someone is undocumented but is legally married to a U.S. citizen and is in the process of being divorced from that person. Wow. What options are available to the person immigration-wise? And the chances of them being deported. Bear in mind, this person has a clean slate and has never had a run with the law, but overstayed their base on the fact that they would have gotten married. And this is from someone that is listening to us.
I'd like you to read that back because I didn't follow the entire pattern.
Okay. Someone is undocumented and got legally married to a U.S. citizen, but they're in the process of being divorced. What available options? What options are available to that person, immigration-wise, and do they face the chance of being deported?
Well, that is an incomplete fact pattern. That doesn't provide for a response, even if I was disposed to giving specific legal advice. And here is the incompleteness with the fact pattern. We don't know whether the person has a petition filed on his or her behalf. We don't know whether or not that petition was approved and the person has progressed by virtue of the marriage to an adjustment of status and now is a legal permanent resident. We also don't know that if in the event that the person is a lawful permanent resident, that that person is a conditional green card holder, meaning that lawful permanent residency was acquired less than 2 years after the marriage to the American citizen. We don't know all of that. We also don't know what might be the circumstances of the disintegration of the marriage, and how does that in fact affect the legitimacy, questions of legitimacy of the marriage. We also don't know whether or not that the person that is described there is subject to any kind of abuse by which that person, even if the spouse declined to file an application, that the person could make an application on the basis of the abuse. And that is why I said that it is very problematic when you begin to answer questions that are simplistic in nature, right? You begin to sometimes give people bad guidance.
Sure.
I hope that you heard that, and that's one of the questions that I think that definitely needs seeking the help of the professional, which is an immigration attorney. I'm actually posting Attorney Williams' information on the live feed, but his number is 212-561-5312. Again, 212-561-5313. You can go ahead.
Right. So at this point in time, one, I must say that it was a pleasure being here, and I think it is a commitment to share some of what you learn. Education should not be simply a self-serving thing. It should serve us, those who make the investment in education, but it must also be used to give back to your community. And there are times when people must rise to that occasion, and I think that this is one of those particular times that require people rising to the occasion and trying to see how much they could carve from their busy schedules in order to be able to make a contribution. I could be easily found once you could remember the name, and the name is Vivian Williams, and if you were to do a search, Google, you would be able to find me even if you were to misplace my contact information by telephone, and also email and my website. If you are trying to find me on the internet, my name, Vivian M. Williams, or Vivian Williams, also Vivian Williams PC, which is the name of my firm. And importantly, what people could notice that I have, my firm has a Facebook page called Vivian Williams PC. That page was set up a long time, but there was a drip in terms of feed and post. Now I have a curator that is actually not just creating content, but is pulling relevant content that address the circumstances of the time, and it's updated more regularly. People may want to follow it because you would have, rather than you having to look all over the place, you have someone dedicated to finding and pulling relevant information and put it there, so you would have that relevant update. And then I also have my blog, which I've started doing more frequently recently, and those are means by which you could follow. Now, in terms of assistance, these are considerations that attorneys and law firms will begin to review, and I think that lots of law school, my own law school, Cardoso School of Law, has started to ask its graduates and to begin to contact the school to see how they could form a pool that provides assistance, and it has clinics that are dedicated to help people. So you would find people shouldn't just simply be on social media following all the other things that they follow. People could begin to do searches and find uh, points of help. And you may find that maybe in a law school clinic. You may have law firms beginning to have clinics. It might not be every day. It might be a specific day of the month or a specific day of the week. And that is the kind of thing that people need to start doing. And also to begin to be informed. Knowledge is power. And when you equip yourself with information, you basically empower yourself. So ignorance is disempowering, so people should not stay in ignorance. And for people like yourself, Sharmin, I think that the society should be grateful. It might be a small step, but these small steps become stronger with time and with the necessary support. But these are going to be the centers of coordination that serve to coordinate effort in order to provide the support that people need in this particular time. My closing words should, however, be that though there may not be normalcy in this time, that there should not be overhype and over-anxiety, that people should, in fact, seek to calm themselves in the time of trouble. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. With that, we'll take a break and get back to you. Attorney Williams will be leaving us. I posted his information and he shared all the information, and it will be, it's actually on the live feed. So thank you guys. We'll be right back.
Talk Time with Sharmin.
Well, that was nice.
That was really.
Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. Calling you live. Hi, Ricky. Thank you for listening. I said thank you for listening. How are you? You're fine? You had a good day today? You see, you know DJ Andrew is here with me, right?
Yeah. Good night, Ricky.
Cool.
Good night, Ricky. You enjoying the show? Ricky?
Ricky, you are enjoying the show?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, listen to us.
All right? Keep it locked, Ricky. I'm about to play some music for you guys, okay?
Cool.
Take care, Ricky.
Talk Time with Sharmin.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to Talk Time with Sharmin. I've learned, I don't know about you, but I've learned so much in that hour from Attorney Williams, and it really opened my eyes, because some or the other, I thought that once you're a green card holder, even if it expired, I never thought about you being out of status with an expired green card. I know someone that over 20 years ago, I think she's like 40 something, her green card expired 20 something years ago. I'm actually going to call her tomorrow when I get to work to ask her if she's aware that with that expired green card, she's out of status, and she needs to seek the counsel of an attorney. Thank you, Attorney Williams. I'm sure a lot of you are in shock at some of the stuff that you learned, but nevertheless, we got information. As he said, some cases are not to be discussed over the air or in public. You should seek an attorney, because during that time, attorney and client confidentiality takes precedence, and seek counsel, seek legal advice. I don't know how many of you heard that when he said, and that was surprising, that his number gets mixed up and people are calling. Listen to this. People are calling and reporting their friends and relatives that are out of status. So you have to be careful when you call in. There's some radio stations may have a lawyer in, and you're going to call and you're going to put all your business out there. Guys, please be careful. Seek their organizations that offer assistance if you can't afford it. But if you can't afford it, find an attorney and speak to an attorney and seek legal counsel about your immigration status. Now it's our time for Reality Corner. And right now it's college time where your high school seniors are being accepted into colleges. But the Reality Corner is, are you prepared financially and emotionally for your child to take that move? Financially, what if your child don't get the scholarship that you was hoping for, or the federal grants? What if your child don't get full scholarship? Do you have the means to prevent your child from having a student loan when they graduate from college? Are you training your children to make the honor roll and get the highest score in SAT score, so that they can get full scholarship and they can attend an Ivy League or one of the best schools in whatever state you're in? Reality check. Are you really prepared for your children to leave for college financially and emotionally? Because some parents don't even want their kids to go and spend the night out. or even if the child is going to college, you prefer the child might be accepted into a very good school that would sell on their resume, but the child has to go out of state. And because of your, control and whatever, you don't want the child to leave. So you prefer to send your child to a CUNY or a SUNY college. So that's of my reality corner for tonight. And if you're a green card holder and you already filed your taxes, and you get your money back, you already got your refund. I know that you had plans since last year, but you need to apply for your citizenship. If your green card is expired, you need to seek counsel to see if you're eligible to reapply.
All depends on the status.
So again, apply for your citizenship and renew your green card. I don't know how else to say it. You heard the attorney, you heard what he said. So there is nothing else I can add because I don't have the expertise.
If you want less fear at night, just take my Sharmin advice. Once you get this thing and you get it out of the way, you ain't gotta really worry about anything, to be honest with you, because you can sleep more peacefully. You know, I mean, you go to bed every night and you're worried about,
your status, but
exactly,
Also, for if you want to speak to an attorney, you can contact attorney Vivian Williams at 212-561-5312. Again, 212-561-5312. Did you enjoy the show? Did you get some information? Are you a little more knowledgeable than before? If so, call us at 718-342-0510. Again, call us at 718-342-0510.
Talk time with Sharmin.
Frankie, time to pay the rules. Wow. Whoa. Yeah. Let me tell you about Frankie.
Please call us up. Share your input.
Frankie went to Hollywood because he wanted to
evening. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good evening, Miss Prince.
Good evening, and how are you?
I am great. And as usual, great show. Very informative.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, as always, great show. I am actually calling in to weigh in on your situation.
My reality
segment.
My reality corner?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. As a mother, mother of 5, I have one in college, as you know, and I have 3 teenagers for college and 2 that's going right after her. It is expensive. It is frustrating. And emotionally, that's a whole different story. We're not going to go there. But
maybe
yes,
we should.
I know it takes us totally emotional to having to let them go because they've been your baby for so long. But I will go on the financial part first. Financially, it is very expensive, as you all know, and scholarships are dear. A lot of times it takes a lot of work because applying for these scholarships are not easy, and then there's times that you apply for all these scholarships and it might not come true. And then, as you said, what do you do? Do you just send your child to CUNY school because you didn't prepare for them financially? And as a parent who is dealing with the college issues right now, I would say, you know what, yes, apply for scholarship, but also make sure you have a backup plan.
Yes.
Have something put aside, even if it's to hold them down for a year, because remember, they can constantly reapply for scholarships. Not because they didn't get it when they were going in their first year, freshman year, doesn't mean that they wouldn't be able to get a scholarship for sophomore year. So we have to put aside something financially. As I told my husband, because I have a 7-year-old, $10 on a paycheck from now, you'll be surprised how it will add up by the time she's ready 10 years from now.
Yes, yes.
For college. We have them. Then even outside of the tuition, when you come down to the senior year, there's so much. There's senior dues. There's all of these that adds up to a good prom and all of this that adds up to a good $2,000. Then there's a lot of these colleges now that you have to pay for the application. You know, you have to pay to send the SAT scores. She got waivers for her SAT scores to be sent to 27 colleges. And now my second, she got waivers for 4. And they need those scores. So there's a lot of little knickknacks that add up. And I would tell anyone, just start putting aside for it. Put aside, because you never know, your child might be lucky to get that waiver, and then there's kids who will not be lucky to get that waiver, and they can't apply to the school because you can't afford to pay the money to send the SAT score. So there's a lot of little things that we have to put aside. Because there are children that they are our future. We have to make preparations from now.
You know what, Sam, that we should do? I think this is a show that needs to be had. Why? Because a lot of people look at the process and think it's easy. It's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I think we should begin to prepare our listeners who have college-bound children and help them to prepare. It's not just financially, it's also emotionally. And then you have to provide support, social and emotional support to your children. Because your child may have applied to 10 schools, but of the 10 schools, that child wants to go to 1, and that's the one that didn't accept them. How do you help the child recover from that?
Yes, I agree with you, Ms. Sharmin, because like right now, this is my second is preparing, and She has been sick for like the past month. If she came home and she's not herself, I can tell she's quiet. And, now she's sick, because your body, when you're under stress, now your body starts acting whack. And she's been home today from school because she's sick for the past month because of the stress of applying for college. Oh, this school didn't call me yet. This is a school I really want to go to. Well, what's taking us so long? Am I not good enough to go here? And I'm dealing with that. So you touch on that, it is a reality.
Wow.
So I'm dealing with that.
Wow.
And I have to constantly be there to support her and, still deal with whatever I'm dealing with within my personal life, my day-to-day life, but still be able to be there to support her and let her know, listen, there's nothing wrong with you. This is not nothing you did wrong. And just to see her go through that, it tears me apart.
I know.
So I'm glad you're touching that. We have to prepare ourselves to help them and support them because it could take a toll on you as a parent.
Well, thank you so much. I think that's something that, I know, guys, we've been talking about immigration, but every Monday I have the reality corner. And our reality corner was a real reality for you, Samantha, because you're actually dealing with that. If you had one advice to give a parent might be listening and say, look, my child is only 7. I have 10 years to deal with that or 11 years to deal with that. That's not a concern for me right now. What would be your advice to that parent?
My advice would be, don't look at your kid's age just being 7. Think of their future. From the time you hold that child in your arms the very first time, I know they're cute, my baby, they're cute, they have the life, they need parties and all of this. Start thinking about their future from that very moment. Start saving. Can you imagine you're saving $1 from the time your child born, or $5 a week? They're set. So my advice would be, don't only think about the parties and the birthday parties and the trips to Disney World. Yes, all of that is fine. But think about your child's future early. Don't wait until the time is here then to go crazy. Think about your child's future from the time they're born. I mean, now you might have a child, and when my child is 7 now, start thinking about it now.
Thank you so much, Samantha.
You're welcome, Ms. Sharmin. Great show. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for calling. The number is 718-342-0510. We had attorney Vivian Williams on the show earlier. We just did our reality corner. Are you prepared for your children that are college bound? Are you prepared emotionally and financially for those children? And I guess Samantha's in the midst of dealing with that, and she actually shared with us, it's not just financially, it's emotionally draining for both the child and the parent. So, yes, guys. And also my question before we receive the call is, if you heard the attorney, did you learn something from him? And what did you take away? I learned quite a few things because someone sent me two questions and I didn't ask him the questions because he answered it without me asking. So call us at 718. Wow, it's 8:30 already?
Yeah, 8:40.
We have, 20 minutes more?
Yes.
Yes, 20 minutes more. The number is 718-342-0510. I hope that we can get, the attorney back at some other time but follow him on Facebook, Vivian Williams PC. He also had a blog. That's how I found him. Someone sent me his name and said, I think you should check him out. I read his blog. I was like, yeah. So, and I sent him a message immediately. And I was happy when he said he'll come in the studio, because I know I've spoken to quite a few people and they're like, okay, I'll call in and then I'll explain to them that we don't have the bridge. So, you know, you will just call in and you won't be able to interact with the listeners. And fortunately, he took time out of his busy schedule to be here.
Key thing he said, Ms. Sharmin, he said to give back to the community.
Yes.
That's a key thing he said.
Yes.
So, once you see somebody speak like that, that means they're thinking about you as a person just like them. They're not for themselves.
Yes. And so I really, really want to thank him for coming and sharing information with us and helping us to,
understand.
I don't know, to understand, but to, I don't know if he decreased the anxiety in some people, or it was, I hope it wasn't heightened. And if it was heightened to a place where you are motivated to do something. It's about motivation. And Pamela, thank you for that question, because last night I had this argument. I'd call it an argument, because I was saying that people that are out of status and that are present on Facebook should be very careful. And some of these same out of status people are malicious and should be careful. And you know, someone was saying, no, they wouldn't do that. Really? And I'm like, you think they wouldn't do that? That's like the hub. That's easy. You know, it's like you're going to fish and you see just a school of fish just swimming right there. All you do is cast your net. So I believe that's one of the avenues. But what was so surprising is that people are snitching on people. You call a spade a spade. I mean, how could you pick up the phone and say, oh, my cousin is illegal, my brother is illegal, my friend is illegal, and this is where they're located?
Can I ask a question? What if that person that's snitching on the other person, what if the person have a better job than them? That's why they're snitching.
But it don't matter what conditions. Why would you do that? Let even if the person harm you,
right?
You know, that's not your decision to make.
True.
You know, I mean, because I know someone who's extremely malicious and undocumented, and because that person has been away from home for so long, I wouldn't like to see that person be deported.
Yeah, because they don't know what's going on back home, yeah.
Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin, calling you live.
Queen Sharmin?
Yes, Brother Earl.
Andrew?
Yes, sir.
Here is what I'm going to say to that question you just asked. I'm going to ask the question, why? Why are they doing that?
Wicked.
Why would our own plea, I mean, forgive me where I'm going with this, but I need to address this. I mean, some people may be afraid to judge, but why are we going to snitch on our neighbor, on our countrymen, because we know their status? Listen to me, people out there. We need to stop this. Like Queen Sharmin said, we're not sure if the attorney took away some of the fear from us. But to know we have people in our own community who will do this to us, we don't need it. Please. We don't need this vicious cycle like it is already. We've got enough false news being spread around. got your own people ratting you out now? Come on, man. No, we don't need it. Please. Please, that part right there, they need to cease and desist from that one. People are trying to get help. Not to know people are going to report you in this trying time. I don't like that part. We need to stop. The Vice Operation Management, great show tonight. Thank you for giving Ms. Sharmin as always. Ms. Sharmin, thanks for taking this topic and run with it. I know a lot of people are afraid to touch it. I heard you said some people said they're calling it very good. I love when you took this topic and run with it, and I hope people got a lot of information. My only clarification I wanted was the question I asked in regards to walk with ID, because it was said I was informed that you should walk with your passport. You don't have to walk with that whole long citizenship certificate. There's a card that you can get from immigration. You can walk with it just like your driver's license. That is something you can take. But for now until this storm passes, you need to, as it was said to me, you need to have your American passport or that citizenship card. Your driver's license social may not be able to prove to them what they want to, but once you can give them one of those two things, you're okay.
Okay.
Well, you know, and Queen Sharmin, if I can touch on on this issue of folks having these green cards for 20 years, 15 years, and having it expire. People, folks, we cannot continue to do this. We can't do this like Queen Sharmin said last week, I think, and she said it again. You might have had plans already for your tax money, but guess what? We've got to start issuing those green cards and spend that $1,000 now and become an American citizen.
I agree.
We have no other way around it. We cannot continue to hold those green cards. I've got 2 friends right now in that same predicament, and I cuss them every day. How can you stick in your green card and let it expire and you never try to get it renewed? That is a problem for you this time now. So once again,
Brother Earl,
yes,
you know what was surprising for me? When he said, if your green card is expired, you're out of status.
Exactly, Queen Sharmin. This is information, Brother Earl. These are things I've been following for years. Exactly. Once the green card expires, you're out of status. You are out. They don't recognize you. Display that card is nothing. You're not valued here. Like right where you can be picked up and deported also now. So these are the people I think who we got running scared right now. The people who've been there for years. With these green cards for so many years, and some of them cards is expired, they don't even know. So please, people out there, please, let's address this now. Once you're here over 5 years, go start putting in those papers now.
Yep.
Great topic, great show, great knowledge, great information. Vice Operation to the world. We can't ask for better free information than this every time you guys come on the radio. This is wonderful. Great show.
Thank you so much, Brother.
Pastor Peter, good evening to you, Brother.
And good evening to Sister Carla.
She's on the other side of the Carla. We try, Mr. Good evening. Thank you, darling. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you all. Good night, folks.
Okay, thank you, Brother Earl. Yes, guys, as I was saying, I can't understand the mindset of anyone who would call, and I'm going to call it what it is, snitched on someone who's undocumented. Because think about it, if that person has been here 5 years, 10 years, it's 10 years away from their homeland. They have been acculturated to the U.S. They have adopted a certain lifestyle in the U.S. Being deported to Guyana, to whatever native country they're from, can be very hard for them. At the beginning of the show, I shared the story with the Jamaican person that was deported after 33 years. Think about what that person is going to. And the discomfort, you don't even know the person's mindset. In that case, you can have an increase of suicide. It can cost so much. That person might have been predisposed to a mental illness, have been managing it well, and that deportation just sent them over the edge. Guys, if you know anyone that is doing reporting people, please ask them to stop. Karma is real. I don't think it's something nice for us to be doing to each other, despite of who the person is and what they are doing. Don't fight evil for evil, and don't do that to anyone, because it comes back to you. I don't think we should be doing that with anyone. I saw someone, I think it's Sister Donna, posted something, but I'm unable to read it.
These are very sad. Ms. Sharon James said it's a shame that people would let their green card expire and not be responsible enough to make sure their status is legal.
Well, Sharon, some people think that once you get the green card and you're a permanent resident, even if the green card expires, it doesn't affect your status. And tonight, that myth was dispelled, because Attorney Williams said if your green card expired yesterday,
status is gone.
You are out of status. Calling your live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good evening to you guys.
Good evening.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate you on what a great show.
Thank you.
It couldn't get any better than this.
Thank you.
Tonight was very informative. And like everyone else, I do hope that he kind of set a lot of fears aside. So we can able to walk around a little more free. My second reason is in defense to people with green cards that expire. A lot of people are taking blows, and people are seeing it as irresponsible. Like I just read the Sharon from Florida statement. I think I'm one of the most responsible, and the reason why I'm in defense of some people, because not everybody that green card expire is careless or worthless or however you want to classify them. Because I think I'm one of the most responsible persons. And I was like that. And it's not for the ones to try and, Sharmin, you know that. But every time I allocate the money, I throw susu, whatever. But at that time, something major comes up where I have to make a choice. Is it doing my citizenship or taking care of the home for whatever reason? So I just don't want people to be, classifying people as with green cards that expire or careless or reckless or irresponsible or, just take into consideration some people's circumstances. And I just want to defend some of those people because, like I said, I was in that boat, and it wasn't because I was reckless, careless, it's because I had a choice, a hard choice on what to do financially. Put that money there or take care of the family. So I just want to throw that in.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that's a harsh reality that that we have to face in the U.S. because, yes, you throw your susu and the plan is, look, I'm going to apply for my citizenship or I'm going to renew my green card. And when you get your susu hand, something takes precedence over that. And you will be like, look, I'll do it the next time. And you can continue doing that for like a year, 2 years, 3 years. And then you're like, oh my God, it's 3 years I've been trying to do this. And then you decide to do it. So things happen, and that's understood. None of us have access to Wells Fargo.
Yeah, so I'm in the fence with, you know, some people that they could, I mean, I can see 29 years, that's a little harsh, because they give you a green card for 10 years, within 5 years that, you take that lead into citizenship. But things happen, I never thought it would happen to me, but it did. And like I said, I'm not a reckless person. I'm very responsible, but I had choices at the time whether to choose this way or that way. So I just want to, defend some of those people.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome. And once again, great show, guys.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Someone on the live feed said, I know someone who has an expired green card who living in the U.S. for 31 years with an expired green card. Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. I think it's important for you to let that person know they're out of status for 31 years. And they should just seek if they're eligible to renew that 31 years expired green card. 31 years ago, it might have been, $100? And then here we are.
Like $1,000 now?
No.
When I did mine, it was $350.
No, it's like 400 and something, 408.
No, more than that.
It's more than that for the green card?
Oh, for the green card?
Yeah, for the it's for something.
It went up.
Close to 500. I don't know. And then, so guys, get your status in order.
Esther?
And Esther said, how long will it take? I'm in the U.S. and she's in Jamaica. Esther, you can go on the USCIS website, and you can see what year they're filing. Because you're a mother and daughter, I think it tells you how long the petition takes. And so you can see how many years that will take. Sometimes when you can file as a green card holder or a permanent resident, and when you obtain your citizenship, you can upgrade your petition. So, because if a citizen file for their child, it's quicker than when you're a permanent resident. So I'll direct you to go to the USCIS website and get all the information there. I didn't estimate or actually anticipate that question, or else I would have printed that information on the
live feed.
I would have printed it and have it. Okay, it's $725 now for your citizenship,
and
$480, for the
green card.
For the green card. Oh,
wow.
Lady, me can say $575. I guess that's if you go through one of those websites, and if you have to,
but here's the
expedite
question.
it.
Here's the question. Isn't every state different? The price is fair?
No, I don't think so. It would be the same thing throughout every state. That would be a standard price.
Okay, so that, just to let everybody know that.
Yeah, but you know what? Since we're not lawyers, we will direct you to the USCIS website, and if you're out of status and you've been out of status for a very long time, please seek counsel. Do not, take it on yourself like this guy. I mean, when I heard that story, I was floored. 33 years, and was deported when he went in. He applied for his citizenship. They approved it, and he went in for the interview, and that's when they nabbed him and sent him home.
Speaking of that, there's a vet that served in the military 32 or 31 years ago. And he didn't have a status. And when he tried to go and apply for it, they deported him back to Mexico. And
I saw that.
there was an interview, and he said, if he didn't know that they was going to do that, he would have never fought for this country. So that tells you that, it's very important of that piece of paper. Very important. Because he fought in the war, came back alive, and 30-something years later, they deported him.
But he did, even a lot of people, even though you go into the army, you still have to, if you're an immigrant, you still have to get your... No. You still have to maintain your status.
Right.
And if you want citizenship, you still have to apply. And maybe, because he couldn't enter the army without being a U.S. permanent resident.
Maybe he had a residency card.
So he had a residency card. And maybe it expired.
Yeah, but it
you can't. The laws are the laws. The laws are the laws. If you're out of status, despite if you serve this country, you have to maintain your status. So, guys, I want to say thank you. Thank you for calling.
Is now 575, you see?
I thank you guys on the live feed. Thanks to everyone that shared the live feed. Thanks to the callers who called in. Thank you to Attorney Vivian Williams for embracing us with his presence and actually giving us an hour of his time. That's unheard of. Most time, the attorney would tell you he's going to call in on the phone. And so, hats off to him. His number, you can call him. His number is 212-561-5312. You can follow him on Facebook at Vivian Williams PC. And his number is 212-561-5312. Thank you, guys. Thanks to everyone. Next week, the topic is reality TV versus reality. I am not the expert. I'll have Samantha and Adio in the studio talking about reality versus reality TV. And I love the topic because there are a lot of young women that are emulating these quote-unquote reality stars. And I think it's a discussion for us to have, and we will be having that discussion next week. So I know it would be fire and ice because you guys like that kind of discussion. There's some friends that they cannot have a discussion other than reality TV. And all these people, I guess because they see them making it through reality TV, there's this myth that it could be real or whatever. So that would be the discussion next week. And so thank you. Good evening. May God bless you. And may God bless Vibes Up Radio. Amen. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good evening.
Talk Time with Sharmin.